Gaethje had lead in his gloves, and that's why Ilia Topuria lost, and why Ilia Topuria had so much visible damage to his face. We're going to get into that theory. Plus, that theory is going so viral that my buddy Jesse on Fire was just on the Alex Jones show, the fucking famous theorist Alex Jones, and Alex Jones was talking about they had magnets in his gloves, all kinds of stuff. We're going to get into all that. Plus, although I have a unique theory on that subject, I have a more unique theory on something related, which is it's hidden in plain sight. It's something nobody's talking about, and it's exactly how hypothetically, allegedly, one could. I'm not saying anyone would ever do this or anyone is. I'm just saying if you wanted to rig fights in MMA, you could allegedly do it this way. No one's talking about it. I'm going to suggest it here, and I'm not saying anyone should ever engage in this behavior because it's kind of crazy, but it's very, very doable and very, very. When I tell you guys, you're gonna go, holy shit. You're never gonna look at fighting the same after I say that. So we're gonna get into all that. Plus, Kobe Covington calls out Dustin Poirier. He's kicking a man when he's down. Ian Gary went on Ariel Helwani. I found it to be unwatchable or unlistened toable. So if you guys have any comments on that, we can discuss it in the chat. Plus, the meta rankings just dropped, and Strickland has explained why he gets so political, and we're going to get into all that. Plus, there's a big Fight Circus announcement. There is a big update to Fight Circus and a big call out. And the fights, I'm going to tell you that, guys, that right now. Fight Circus just dropped the poster for the Herb Dean back of the head strikes only match, guys. They are not playing around. They dropped the fucking poster. Back of the head strikes only, guys. All right. And plus, we got to call out. Somebody's calling out death sentence. We're going to get into all that. We got a big show for you tonight, guys. I'm excited. I'm your host, King David MMA. I'm a professional MMA champion, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and I coach at the greatest gym on the planet, Extreme Couture. I also teach there. So, best of both worlds, guys. Let me check the chat real quick. R Pawn the Dawn. Let's go. We are live. The real ones in the chat. Fight Circus FTW. You know how we do. I'm dropping this in the chat, man. I'm off the t-shirts, right? We are off those for the time being. We are talking StudioMillions.com. Help your coach. Your coach wants this. Help them. Help them. They will thank you for it. Send them to Studio Millions, guys. Studio Millions will get them right. Also, make sure you tap the like button on the actual video. I guess it helps the algorithm or some shit. You know what I mean? I'm not a computer genius. I'm just saying it feels good when you do it. When you tap the like button, it just changes colors and it makes you feel warm inside. Plus, it helps me out. And then when you do that, then I can appreciate you for it. So I appreciate you guys. Everybody that subscribed, we cracked right through 600 subscribers like butt cheeks. I told everybody get on board before we hit 111, and we're already past 600. That's how we do it here. So thank you guys. Appreciate you if you've subscribed. And if you have not subscribed, well, guess what? I can't appreciate you. It's unfortunate. And if you were wondering about a metric, should you subscribe or not? We were talking about dragons the other day. If someone says, hey, man, I believe dragons are real. If your response to that is, really? Tell me more. You should probably subscribe. And if your response is, that's impossible, they told me in school that's fake, then you probably shouldn't subscribe. We keep it open-minded around here. So if you don't like to be open-minded to new ideas and hear things out before you make decisions on them, then this probably is not the channel for you, because we tend to get weird about the halfway point of the live. We get off the subject and we start talking dragons. We start talking giants. We start talking the firmament. We get, where do the UFOs come from? Are they coming from underground? What if, hypothetically speaking, there was an ice? We get into it all here, guys. So let's pop it off from the jump. Glovegate. How this relates to Jake Paul, because people were saying that Jake Paul's fight versus Anthony Joshua was rigged, and how Justin Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria has anything to do with being rigged. So, Jesse on Fire, the famous YouTube streamer, he has a background in martial arts. He's training at Six Blades Jiu Jitsu in Texas. He's training through the Ribeiro lineage, world champions. And a lot of people don't know he started in MMA. So his whole YouTube channel got to 100,000 subscribers just on MMA alone. Then he flipped into politics. Anyways, now he's on Alex Jones's show, and Alex Jones is asking him about Justin Gaethje's fight because it's at the White House, it's political, it's controversial, and Jesse's a subject matter expert on being up to date on what's happening in MMA. He can give a more educated take than a lot of Alex Jones's other guests. So Alex Jones is tweeting out about magnetic gloves and that the people that Alex Jones feels rule the world had some magnets in Justin Gaethje's gloves that they could turn on and off. That way they can ensure Justin Gaethje's victory, which looks good for Trump, which makes their agenda overseas. It's all working together. Justin Gaethje stuck up for Trump. Now he's got magnets in his gloves. That's what the theorists are theorizing, but that absolutely did not happen. There is a way that if you wanted to rig it, you could rig it, which we're going to get into. But before we do, there was no glove buffoonery. There was none of that. Justin Gaethje beat Ilia Topuria fair and square. Every single person that's ever fought Justin Gaethje says, hey, that was the hardest hitter I've ever fought. Khabib said it. Everybody said it. And now when you walk forward on a dude like that, expecting him to get tired and then being able to finish him, which is what Ilia Topuria has done to virtually everyone else, when Justin Gaethje is level change feinting takedowns and throwing uppercuts. Even if this get like if you hit somebody with the knuckle or this knuckle in the eye, their orbital bone will pop to protect the eyeball from exploding. That's how my doctor explained it to me when I had a broken orbital in a fight and I kept fighting. I had a broken orbital and a fractured nose and I kept fighting. So I can speak to what's happening in the fight. It doesn't take the craziest strike. It just takes a placed strike that would explode your eyeball, but your orbital bone literally breaks. That's what my doctor said. I'm not a fucking physician. That's just what he told me. So, anyways, boom. Ilia Topuria's got two busted eyes. Goes down. And everybody's like, oh, how could it possibly happen? Glovegate. And now it's gotten so big that Alex fucking Jones is talking about Glovegate on his podcast with Jesse on Fire. So, what people don't realize is that the dude in the cage, in the ring, they're not a static point in time. It's not like this guy is the best ever and then anything he does is always the best ever. He's the best ever because of everything. It's like if you were to see an iceberg at the top, this is the guy at the top. Everything he does, his strategy, his technique, everything, that's the iceberg underneath. If you remove all that and you do something different, the guy just falls underwater, right? And so we saw this back in the day, way back in the day, with Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas. Oh, Mike Tyson's unbeatable. Well, dude, he stopped training. He was doing blow, banging, I guess, hookers or whatever he was doing allegedly, all that crazy shit, and wasn't training for Buster Douglas. So what made him invincible, what made him the best heavyweight of all time was the work he was putting in, was the diligent study he was putting in, was the dedication to the craft he was putting in. And when you remove that, he became a fucking normal dude for a night. And same thing happened with Ilya. Even though Ilya dropped Justin to the body, Ilya had a flawed strategy going in there. His strategy was, hey, I'm going to walk forward for 2 minutes, press this guy. And at the 2 minute, 3 minute mark, he's going to get tired and I'm going to finish him. How do we know this was his strategy? One, because that's what it looked like. And two, he said it before the fight. So now he's put this pressure on himself to get Justin Gaethje out of there in 2 minutes. He's also putting an immense amount of pressure on himself because he's calling his shots. And now the fight is going longer than that. And Justin Gaethje, for anything, people can critique his fight with Paddy Pimblett. The dude's fucking durable. So now Ilya's strategy's working out. Ilya's pressing him. He's getting him on the cage. And now Ilya's shots are landing. Boom, liver shot. Drops Gaethje. That's usually it. That's the curtain call. So Ilya did everything he was supposed to do. The fight was supposed to end right there. in Ilya's mind. It went exactly as Ilya planned, except Justin Gaethje survived. So when you talk about lead in the gloves or anything like that, what does that have to do with the fact that he was almost fucking finished? He was almost finished. The gloves didn't win the fight. The durability won the fight. People look at the end of the fight as, oh, his eyes. Dude, that's not what caused the finish. The finish came when he got the fuck back up off the ground after being dropped with a body shot and surviving grappling exchanges and ground and pound from Ilia Topuria. That's what actually won the fight. So the metric people are looking by is like, oh, the punches to the face, bro. Those helped a little bit, but Ilya still could have got him out of there. Ilya wasn't planning for his durability. Ilya is used to people checking out, going unconscious, visiting the shadow realm. And when that didn't happen, Justin's still in there, and Justin has fortitude. Justin has gone 5 rounds multiple times. Guys, he fought Max Holloway to the last second of the fight with a broken fucking nose from a turning sidekick, like a jumping turning sidekick. Boom, hit him right in the fucking nose. Broken nose, and fought the rest of the fight. So now Ilya's like, oh, he's going to get out of there. Right? So Ilya was correct in his assessment. Could he push him to the cage? Yes. Could he make him throw something looping and then Ilya can catch him clean inside? Can he get him to fucking shell up because he doesn't want to get KO'd and then fucking blast him to the body with the most vicious body shot in MMA currently? Yes. Ilya did all that. And Justin fucking got out. And now what? So that's actually the metric. The metric isn't what's in the gloves or not in the gloves, which the gloves were normal gloves. There was no lead or anything like that. But that leads me to my next point. People were saying Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua was rigged. Dude, Jake Paul is fucked off. He's got multiple broken bones in his jaw's like broken in multiple places. And then it got like infected, so they had to go in and redo it. And now he's had to have multiple surgeries on his jaw. He doesn't know if he's ever gonna fucking fight again. And people are saying that fight's rigged. So when you see this shit online, just know these people are cooked. They're so far away from fucking danger that they don't even recognize what real fighting is. Like it's like when the dude at the event where I called him out and he came up to me and he's like not realizing he's in danger. He's not actually he's not a dangerous guy. He doesn't know when he's in danger. Same thing here. These people online are talking, Jake Paul's fight was rigged because Anthony Joshua should have got him out of there faster. Bro, Anthony Joshua broke his fucking face and Jake Paul may never fight again. Justin Gaethje got up off the floor with a body shot that would have stopped anybody else in the fucking division. The fight was over. And Justin was like, fuck that. I'm going to keep fighting. The ref could have called it off. Different ref, fight's over. Anything could have happened. It's got nothing to do with the gloves. And on top of that, the gloves were not rigged. But if you wanted to rig something, guys, hypothetically speaking, and I'm not saying that anybody would do this ever. I'm just saying how I think. I like to think in terms of strategy. I like to think in terms of what am I not seeing that other people are seeing? What information is out there that other people are ignoring? That's how I was able to win a professional MMA title at 44 years old, despite the fact that people are like, that's too old to do anything. And it's like, well, okay, what's the actual metric, right? Like, what do you need to be able to bench press to be able to win a fight? Like how much weight, right? Like there's some metric, right? Well, how much can you squat? How much how quick can you run a mile? Like what's your VO2 max? What's your resting heart rate? Well, like, so if all those things are in the upper echelon, then the age is just a number on a piece of paper. That's how I looked at going into this fight. Anyways, that leads, so the reason why I'm talking about all these statistics and these metrics is because, guys, the UFC Performance Institute has numbers on everybody. I don't think that they would ever use those numbers. But if I were in charge and I had 7 billion on the line, this is not what they would do. This is what I would do. I would want to insure my investment and I would like to start matching people up strategically based on who do we want to win and who do we want to lose. And this guy was knocked out by a guy with this much punching power. This guy has more punching power and is more accurate. We can match this guy with this guy, even though this guy's lower in the rankings than this guy. This guy's going to clip this guy. Oh, both of these guys are durable, but one of them has cardio issues. Oh, what's this guy's VO2 max and resting heart rate? Oh, we can match him with him. Oh, shit. Okay. And then, hypothetically speaking, if I had all this information, I could match make according to actual numbers, data, and information that the public doesn't have. So, in theory, if I know Justin has been hit by someone who hits harder than Ilya and survived, I know that he has better cardio than X, Y, and Z. His VO2 max, his heart rate, everything is, he's got the best numbers in these categories. And Ilya's plan is to go against guys who have weaker numbers in those categories. And like, you can start to use those building blocks to strategize things that could potentially happen or have a greater likelihood of happening, despite what the odds say, hypothetically, as something that if I were in charge of a $7 billion company, I would do. They would not do that. They're not into that, right? I'm sure there's like legal shit that like you can't even do that. So in the event that I discovered there was legal shit, I wouldn't even do it. I'm just saying if there was no legal shit involved, that's what I would do, right? Anyways, so let's say you knew a certain guy was really good at energy expenditure, and he could fucking redline it in the first round, and then in the second round he tanks. And you have this information based on the testing that you've given him at the PI. And then you got another guy who can survive the first round, and then every round he's kind of like just at the same level, right? He stays level. So let's say, I don't know, Hamzat versus Strickland. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like, hey man, if Strickland survives the first round, he's going to be able, because this other guy peaks higher. His peak is higher in the first, but if Strickland survives, this guy crashes, and now this guy's fighting back up, and Strickland is just like maintaining. Hypothetically, you could, if you had numbers on people, you could probably like assume what could potentially happen better than someone without that information, hypothetically. Anyways, that's my theory of the day. I'm out here thinking of what's available that nobody's discussing. What are the blind spots no one's seeing? What would I do if I had access to the resources that these people had? What could I conceive of if I had the information that they have on file? You know, those sort of things, right? And when you start thinking in those terms, then you go like, oh, fuck, man. Maybe somebody knew it was a much, much closer fight. In fact, maybe the actual numbers favored Gaethje, and that's why they put him on the top of the card, hypothetically. And then somebody else might be 100% sure and predict Gaethje. Anyways, that's just me talking crazy talk, guys. Let me read the chat real quick. Justin Gaethje is fucking Iron Man. Jesse on Fire is a political analyst, and Alex Jones is an MMA commentator. Yeah, bro, we're in bizarre world. It's all switched up now. It's all switched up, dude. So, Jesse on Fire, he had me on his channel. I got a bunch of subscribers from it, but it was about a subject matter that I didn't intend to go viral on, and like I don't want anything to do with, because I punked this dude at an MMA fight, and then it turns out that dude was like a really, really bad dude with all kinds of charges against young persons, and all kinds of crazy shit. And the internet's getting at him for not having any money, even though he's front like he has money. And I personally believe that dude has money. I believe that he's probably hiding his money from his divorce, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, so yeah, I was on Jesse's channel, and Jesse is an interesting person because like he and I differ on subjects, on a lot of subjects. So right now he's on this Palm Beach Pete subject. I've met Palm Beach Pete. I believe Palm Beach Pete is Pete. Now keep in mind, everybody else that I was at this brand risk event with, where Pete was at, believes that Pete's the other dude, the bad guy, the real bad guy with the Aqua, right? Like everybody, not I can't say everybody, I didn't talk to everybody, but there was a strong feeling from the people who I did talk to that was that person. Jesse on Fire 100% believes it's that dude. But Jesse on Fire, and I haven't done any research on this, he probably has way more information than me. He also thinks that the political commentator that was really good at going viral on college campuses that got injured and disappeared right when he had beef with that one country and all that crazy shit and all the conspiracy theories that Candace Owens got her, she's not going to let it slide, all that. He thinks that dude's alive. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, what is that a rabbit hole? Like, are we gonna go down that rabbit hole? Are like, you know what? Maybe you guys want to. He's got a whole video series on it. I've never looked into it, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just know what I see in Instagram reels. And so Jesse on Fire has a whole series on that. So if you guys are deep into, he's really good at research too. He's excellent at research. I've noticed that. So if you guys are into that sort of theory type stuff, he's got some interesting playlists on his channel. But yeah, and then yeah, Alex Jones is now talking. And so when Alex was saying about the magnets in the gloves, Alex was being very facetious and sarcastic. I don't believe that Alex really believes that. I think he was just, doing what Alex does, which is saying wild stuff to get people to click on videos. And I don't think I think he was being sarcastic, but yeah. John Dong in the chat. What's up? Sup, bro? Where can I order a pair of your strategic gloves, bro? Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, they the overseas magnetic gloves with the Middle Eastern influence or whatever. You know what I mean? The influencer gloves. Arpan Patel drops a glove emoji in the chat. Let's freaking go, bro. Shout out to the mod, Arpan the Don. Jesse makes a convincing argument on that one guy. Dude, does he? I haven't watched it. You know what I'm saying? But like that's the coldest part. That's why I don't get. So there's like theories that I'll get into, like the UFO stuff or like dragons and all that. Because I'm like, those, unless you go too deep, those are pretty like lighthearted, right? But when you start going down those rabbit holes, it gets real dark real quick. So I don't even fuck with it. But yeah, so Jesse swears that Palm Beach Pete is not named Pete. And he also swears that Mr. Kirk is still with us, which honestly, man, that would be really cool because I'm not here for anybody to get that happen to them. That's horrific. So also, or should we talk about this, guys? Your boy, Colby Covington, calls out Dustin Poirier, kicks him while he's down. Dustin's struggling. Dustin's got potentially a problem. He's dealing with not fighting, which is kind of crazy because when you fight and you go to the gym every day, you have a built-in social circle. You get exercise, you get endorphins, you see the same people every day, you have a kinship, you have a bond, you have a goal that you're working towards, you're making progress daily. So you feel like your life is going towards something and you have a social, it's like, it's epic. Now, Dustin's probably missing that. And he spoke about that on a couple of interviews. And it turns out he got drunk, and I believe he got arrested on Father's Day. And Kobe used that to promote real American beer. And now, while I appreciate Kobe promoting my uncle, RIP, Hulk Hogan's beer, it's like, come on, dog. Are you going to fight Dustin, bro? Are you going to fight him? Because you're talking wild and you're talking reckless, which is fine if you're going to fight the dude. But if you're just getting at him just to get at him, bro, man, I want to see Colby Covington fight Dustin Poirier now. That's what I want. It'll get Dustin refocused and it'll get Colby like, hey, man, talk it, back it up. Also, Ian Gary is unwatchable, guys. He was on Ariel Hawani. I couldn't even watch it. He's jibber jabbing, and I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Also, the meta rankings dropped today. So now we're going to have two sets of rankings. We're going to have the media rankings and the meta rankings. No telling which one the UFC is going to go with, right? Because it seems to be that you can just skip people, which is kind of cool because that allows us to get the fights we want to see. And some people would say the rankings are just there to make the sport look professional and give public commentators something to talk about. Also, Strickland explained why he gets political. It's because he's a 90s kid. And ever since he can remember, Strickland has grown up where the United States is getting involved in Middle East wars. And now, to the majority of the population, we don't want any Middle East wars. So Strickland's saying he's going to stay involved until there's no new wars, which I kind of rock with, guys. I kind of rock with it. I'm pretty much like pro peace. So Strickland is going to continue to be political and give us more entertainment. He is going to continue to, I don't know what he's going to do next, man. Where's he going to get arrested at next for speaking his mind and showing up to places that he should be welcomed at, yet he's for some reason not, and it doesn't make sense. So that's kind of wild. Also, guys, I told you guys Fight Circus is doing back of the head shot fight. They just dropped the poster for it, and now we got to call out my guy Stephen Cox. He's one of the dudes at Extreme Couture. I believe he's 18, and he just called out death sentence. If you guys go on my Instagram, King David MMA, he's on my stories right now. He's calling him out. It's amazing. His call out is amazing, and now I want to see the fight. I don't want them to do back of the head only shots. I want them to actually scrap. So it could be death sentence versus Steven. That would be epic. Also, if they do the actual back of the head fights, back of the head shots, that'll be fucking nuts. They're probably going to only be able to do that in Thailand if they decide to do that. But yeah, the poster just dropped. They're calling out Herb Dean. And I saw the text messages. Herb Dean is he's a sport about it. He's laughing about it. So shout out to Herb. Big Herb Dean. You know what I mean? He's a good sport about it. Also, almost passed out today, y'all. I almost fucking passed out, but I ain't no fucking pass around. It was so hot. So when we wrestle at Extreme Couture, there's 5 p.m. wrestling. You go upstairs, and it's literally just rounds. So the timer's on. Justin James is coaching it. He's screaming at everybody, calling them pussies. Which, as someone who fights, we appreciate the intensity of the coaching and the motivation and the push. It was so fucking hot up there, and there was no air. There were so many people in practice that we had to split the practice. So half the team sitting out, and then half the team is wrestling. And then after that round, switch, and the team that was sitting out goes in, and the team that was anyways. Dude, there was no. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I started going numb in my fingers and like my toes and my legs and my arms, and I'm like, dude, my extremities are going numb. I'm like, what the fuck? And usually I'm able to really excel in that class because the first like 3 rounds are kind of rough with the heat and all that. But once everybody starts to fade, I'm fortunate that I'm able to pick it up. And so I start to pick it up a little bit and I start to push a little harder. And so that's kind of my zone that I thrive in. And today I was like, what the fuck? So after practice, Justin was talking to the class about setting goals. And one of the things that I said on a previous live that Steven actually took, he's the one that's calling out death sentence. And he actually did this exercise. I told to the class, and we're talking around the subject of goal setting. And first things first, if you set goals and you say them to yourself, they said that like 46% of people, you're 46% more likely to achieve your goal if you do that. Now, if you write your goal down and say it to yourself and have an accountability partner or a coach that holds you accountable to your goals, it's like goes from 40% to like 76%. And Justin was asking the class to write their goals down and submit them, right? And then he was asking me my thoughts on goal setting, which, I got some pretty cool goals or whatever that I've accomplished. And I'm like, listen, if I could go back and talk to me at your guys' age, or even right now, like future me comes and talks to me, it's like set your goals higher. So you don't even know what the fuck you're capable of, right? So the me that set my initial goals didn't know this me. This me looks at that me and goes, bro, you can do 10 times more. You could do way more. You set your goals low, bro. Set them way higher. And so I was telling the kids on the team, hey, if you guys set your goals, Set them for future you. You don't even know what's possible. You're not a fixed point in time. You're this person, but you're also that future person. So as you set your goals, you can look into the future as the future you that's already achieved those goals, looking back at you and talking to you about your goals. So, anyways, that's what we were getting into, and that resonated with Steve the other day when I dropped on the live. So that was really nice because he says he was talking to future him, and future him was giving him advice, and I'm like, fuck, bro. So it's really cool when somebody implements and listens to something that you find valuable, and then they find value in it as well. And they say that we're going to end on this note, guys. If I have a torch that's lit, and you have a torch that's unlit, just because I light your torch, it doesn't put out my torch. It just gives us both the available light. Now we got twice the light together. Let's freaking go, guys. Appreciate you. That's the live for tonight. Thank you, guys. When you guys are in the chat, it makes it so fun. So I shout out to you guys, man. You guys made my night. Appreciate you. I'll see you guys tomorrow.